Well, we've got Autumn Brifil here, and we're going to talk about her book, Baby David's Day at the Pool. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing smashing, thank you. So this book, Baby David's Day at the Pool, what inspired you to write it?
So basically, my inspiration began because of my son. He's 18 months, and his name is David. So I began a book series about my adventures with my son.
And what kind of thing can we expect from the book?
Well, this particular book, it's full with surprises. It's about a day at the pool and our day when he wants to go on this big scary water slide. It's filled with teaching a lot of lessons that inspired this book to help other children who are dealing with the same kind of issues when it comes to water. It introduces them into a new sport.
Yeah, that's interesting. I suppose there can be a fear of water when a child is really young, can't there? And this book will help with that.
Correct, yes.
So what made you want to become an author? I mean, was it simply wanting to write a book for your son, or had you always had that dream there anyway?
Well, no, I always wanted to be an author because I have an autobiography that I wanted to write about myself, but I haven't, I just started writing that book. But when it came to this particular book and becoming an author right now, it was actually inspiration because of my friend Luke. He's the one that inspired me to start this particular venture. So because of him, I was going to go down the tour route and, start to rent cars and lease cars. And because, he had a lot of experience as a car dealer, he was like, no, this is not the right time for that. I think you would be better as an author. And he's like, children's book would be best for you. And I actually follow his advice.
Yeah. So are you thinking of staying on that children's book route?
Of course. I want to make a whole series about my son, but I also want to start a venture with my own line, and to tell the world about who I am and, where I came from and why I, got to this point where I am today.
Why do you think you want to write about your life? Do you think it's quite interesting?
Very. When I tell a lot of people about my life, they cannot believe it. A lot of the things that I tell them, they say they never heard anything like this before. So it's a lot of interesting things that happened in my life, a lot of good points and a lot of bad things. And I think I just need to let the world know about what's going on and, make them aware about life, because a lot of things that happen to me, a lot of things that never happen to other people.
Has there been stuff in your past, maybe previous careers you've had, that have actually helped you become an author?
Well, I think because when I started my business, Mystic Healing Reiki Studio back in 2020, that was the turning point in my life because, that was during the COVID and everybody had to be at home and I was at home with a lot of free time on my hands. So I decided to start businesses and I really just started self-development on myself. And I launched a couple of businesses. I ended up becoming a minister, a Reiki healer, and also a wedding officiant, and now an author.
That's quite incredible. So you can marry people?
Correct.
That's impressive. What do you have to do that? Is there a lot of work that you have to do to get there?
Not at all. I mean, I actually, went to school online. So if you want to, get into that venture, you can, find schools online that offer that program. And it's not expensive and it's not long. It's very easy to do, but it's hard to just get the world to know all that I have to offer. So that's why I'm here today.
Yeah. Have you done any services yet or married people?
No, not at all.
So I guess it is just about getting known. If somebody came to you today and said that they want to marry somebody and want you to officiate it, would you do it?
Yes, of course.
And what was it that made you want to do that? Is it just the fun of it, or is there something more than that?
It's a story behind it, because when I became a Reiki healer, I found out the only way for me to perform Reiki healing is either for me to go to school as a massage therapist or to become an ordained minister. So I chose to become an ordained minister since that's, the path that my family was already down. And since I was an ordained minister, I found out that I could also perform weddings.
Do you have sort of plans to get yourself known, or is it just seeing how it goes?
Well, this is one of the ideas that I have, starting with you, with the radio, getting my name out there, so people would know who I am, because that was the one thing that I didn't have was the marketing in my past market myself and market my business. And so now that's what I'm trying to focus on at this point.
Yeah. And going back to the book, Baby David's Day at the Pool, who did the illustrations for it?
So my illustrator, I actually found her on Fiverr. Her name is Hadis. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Bayramoglu, but it's inside of the title page. If anybody wants to find out, her name is listed there. Yes, she did a very good job on all of my illustrations, and I would highly recommend her.
Absolutely, they look great. And do you think it's quite important in a children's book to have illustrations, because it'd be a bit weird if it didn't have any, wouldn't it?
Right. It gives kids, especially when they're at this age, when they're learning how to read, it helps them so they can get an idea of what's going on when their father or mother is reading to them, or their teacher is reading to them. It helps them to grasp what's going on in the book.
Yeah, and it's got pictures throughout, and it's not really overloaded with text, is it? It's all sort of manageable, the book.
Correct. The entire book is only about 30 pages long, including, the writing and the illustrations. So I feel like if it was too much text, for the children and the age range that I'm trying to reach out to, it would lose their attention.
Yeah. And did you have any say in what the characters looked like when the illustrations were done?
Yes, I did. I definitely wanted to, portray me and my son, and she did a very good job in doing that.
And I suppose it helps with representation of groups that are sometimes not always represented in books.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think you'll have more books after this one, other than the autobiography, maybe more children's books that you're kind of working on?
Yes, I'm also going to start on Baby David's Day at the Park, and my followers can be expecting that soon, so be on the lookout for that one, you guys.
Yeah. And what kind of things does that one cover at the park?
Basically about our day at the park. He is socializing with other people, and actually going to find out that he gets a girlfriend in this book.
Yeah, I like that idea, because I suppose a fear of water is one thing that's physical and kind of obvious, but there is a fear of meeting probably actually other children for the first time.
Exactly.
And the fear of like social interaction.
Exactly. Thank you. You actually hit on an important topic, because children, they have fear of interacting with other people when they haven't met them before, and that's going to talk on that book, because at some point he actually hits another child.
Ooh, that's interesting. Well, where are we able to find this current book, Baby David's Day at the Pool, in the meantime?
Right now, it is available on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version or the softcover version if you like.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for coming on today. It's been great to have you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me today.